Alright, so I have this egg box right here, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this up because that's right, one of the mamas just laid some eggs, so stick around. My name is Nick Pulaski. Growing up, I have always had a passion for wildlife, and with that passion, along with my passion of filmmaking, I get taken on some amazing adventures creating wildlife content, getting up close with a variety of incredible animals. So come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty in our natural world. Hello and welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. So, exciting time right now. We are experiencing eggs being laid. We have 2 mamas so far. I have 1 clutch already in the incubator. I'm going to show that footage right now. That pairing was to a super pastel lesser to a lesser female. So the outcome of those will be pastel lessers, and pastel super lessers. So really exciting to have those guys incubating right now. But we did just have a mama lay a big clutch of eggs, so we're going to set those eggs up right now, and that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to show you guys how exactly I set up my eggs to incubate. And it's honestly a pretty simple process. So as you can see, I have this Sterilite 6-quart tub right here. Other people will call this a shoebox container. You can get those relatively cheap. I also do have some vermiculite right here. And also as well too, I do have a scale. So what the scale does is basically you want a 1-to-1 ratio of vermiculite to water. So this is water right here, and what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to probably scoop out about 1.5 inch depth worth of vermiculite to put inside here, weigh that out, and then I'm going to have the same amount of weight of vermiculite to water weight as well too. So we're just going to double the weight. It's relatively an easy process to follow, so I'm just going to kind of talk as I do here. So we're going to turn on this right here. I'm going to adjust myself here, and then we have the box right here. So the box is going to sit right here flat, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to zero out the box right here. And now what I will do is I'm going to pour. I've used this plenty of times for eggs in the past. These are my first ball python clutches in 5 years. Can you believe that? Super exciting stuff. I'm so happy to get back into these guys. It's been a long time coming. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys. This is basically what you're going to want right here. So this is about 1.5 inches worth of vermiculite right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to reweigh it right now just to see what the weight is. And then what I'm going to do is, you don't want the water cold, you don't want to shock the eggs, but you don't want it too warm as well. So I'm trying to match what the incubator temperature is, which I keep my eggs incubating at about 88 to 89 degrees. There's fluctuation obviously with that, but I mean, it's nothing too drastic. You don't want them really hot and you don't want them really cold as well too. But I mean, small little fluctuations, there's nothing wrong with that. So this water is a little bit over warm, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour water inside here and pour it all around here. Alright, so then what you want to do is you don't want this soggy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it around with my hands here. I'm just clumping it as I go. You don't want any of it dry, and you don't want any of it too wet. So the goal of it, what you want is basically you want it to clump like so, and you don't want it to basically drip any moisture when you squeeze it. But you want the clumps to be able to come apart easily, but you don't want them to stay super soggy. Because when I shut this box, I don't open it until the 60 days are up. So that is something that I personally don't add any more water. There are no holes in this box or anything like that to ventilate it. So everything that's in this tub is going to stay in this tub until I see a head pip out. And the heads pip normally around like day 57 and up. So 60 days to incubate ball python eggs. So we are waiting for those guys right here. This clutch just laid. She started laying last night, so super exciting. It is later in the afternoon the next day, so the eggs may be a little bit hardened to one another there. But we are going to check them out. I don't even know how many she has right now. I just peeked in, and I mean, it looks like a very nice sized clutch. Now, if your ratio is slightly off, it's not going to harm the eggs whatsoever. Sometimes I will use a gradient on here, which is like a light diffuser panel that I'll put on top of here. You can use those. Some people have like something related to those where they can put the eggs inside of here. For this clutch, I don't think that's going to work that well, so I'm just going to put them directly onto the vermiculite. I've done that in the past, no issues with my clutches doing that. I think this box is all set. We're just going to make it nice and neat because it will get messy as time goes on and these guys hatch. So I'm trying to make it as less messy as possible. I'm gonna go wash my hands really quick, and then we're going to tend to the eggs. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the mama out. So this right here, this is my black pastel albino female, and she is looking huge, as you can see. Oh my gosh, is she looking big. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to give her some little taps right here. And we're basically, as you can see, she's bumping, she's huffing and puffing. She's just being a protective mama. But what we have to do is you basically want to start with both hands, basically. You want to grab from the tail so she doesn't disrupt and move the eggs as you're lifting her. But you also want to grab from the top too, because sometimes these guys can be pretty defensive. She seems pretty mellow, honestly. Besides just some random bumping as well as huffing and puffing, she seems totally fine. So what we're going to do is, come here, mama. You did great. And like I said, I have no idea how many eggs are in this clutch. And what you also want to do too, which is important, is you want to also wash off the mom right after you're done with this, and wash the cage too, because you're going to get rid of that egg smell on her. If you don't do that, what she's going to do is, see how like she is like unfilled of eggs right now. So as you can see, she's lost a ton of weight because of the eggs being gone. And what you want to do is you want to get her cleaned off, get rid of any of that egg smell, because afterwards, that's how you get her back onto food and interested. So all of this is going to be clean eventually, but right now, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 eggs. Oh my gosh, I think her last clutch was 6 eggs. So I mean, you did great, mama. These eggs look amazing. So we want to make sure we move these eggs nice and slowly. All right, so now that mama's put away, we'll deal with her in a bit after we get these eggs all situated. I want to slowly, like I said, they harden to one another. I want to slowly peel. There we go. Should be okay there, but look at this. This is one of the ball python eggs right here. And we're going to put him down gently like so. But yeah, 9 great eggs right here. So no slugs whatsoever, which is wonderful. What we're going to do is we're basically going to move all this clutch. They're staying pretty flat. I'm going to move this whole clutch over here so I can pick all these up basically, and they're all attached to one another. And that's also to help too with them not flipping, because the embryo, if it flips, it can actually drown. Sometimes I've seen success stories where it doesn't drown if the embryo is moved. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to turn off these lights just to show you guys this next part of the process here, which is I'm going to candle the eggs here. I don't know if this is being picked up by the camera. I hope it is. But you can see a circle right on the top there. That is actually the embryo of the snake right there. So that's actually the snake eye being developed right there. And then you can see the blood veins up top. So there's that. There's the air pocket up top too. So you want to make sure that is up top for the eggs. This looks like a phenomenal great egg right here. So we're going to put this guy back. All right, so just like that, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 beautiful eggs right here. So no issues with these guys whatsoever. Like I said, I just put them on top right here. They're a little bit nuzzled in, but these guys are going to be perfectly fine. I just took this one apart because it was kind of leaning and tilting. These guys being all stuck together, they're perfectly fine. So we're just going to leave them as is. And what we're going to do now, the next step really is I'm going to put the lid on these guys. And then I also make cards. So these cards right here just kind of help me tell which clutch is which. So I have right here the female albino black pastel paired to my male pieds. We're going to be having an exciting clutch here of double head for pied and albinos, and also black pastel double head for pied and albinos. So really excited for those guys. Hopefully going to hold back a couple of these guys because they are going to be some really cool things. I love pieds and albinos, so putting those two together has been a dream for a long time, and now that we're getting back into this, I'm super excited to be doing this, and it's going to be really rewarding growing these guys up and then breeding these guys in the future. Super exciting. So we do have the card already made, so I'm going to put that right there. I do have the estimated time of arrival, 60 days from yesterday, which would be July 25th. So something to look forward to. Like I said, I'm going to keep this shut until we have heads pipping out, and normally around day 57 or so, that's when you start seeing those kind of signs that these eggs are pretty ready. And then whenever I see those things, we can kind of open these guys up a little bit more and take a peek and see what we got. Now once the eggs are put into place in the incubator and they're all set up in their egg box, the next thing that I like to do is I like to descent the female from the smell of eggs. And what that will do is it's going to transition the female from going from a maternal incubating standpoint standpoint to going to a hunger standpoint and getting back onto food, because that's what's important right now, is transitioning her back onto food. Because as you can see, and probably guess as well too, producing eggs takes a lot on a female. So as you can see going down her body, she's kind of a little bit wrinkly and she's more concave. That's because she is not full of anything, because the eggs are gone. So getting rid of that smell of eggs is definitely something important you want to do for your female. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to bathe her. So I'm going to give her a bath that's not going to be too warm, but definitely not cold to shock her or anything like that, but we're going to give her a nice soothing bath. And what I'm actually using is Dawn, so that's going to basically help with getting rid of that smell. So it doesn't have any added scents or anything like that, it's just basic Dawn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mainly focus on where the eggs exactly were, which is she wraps around them underneath her belly scale. So I'm going to rub this soap on the belly scales in specific, along with the rest of her body too. And I'm just going to use a small amount, and I'm just going to dilute it with the water. I'm not getting too wet. It's not like bathing a dog, that's for sure. And then I'm also going to do another clean down of her tub as well too, to make sure that doesn't smell like eggs. And then after that, we're immediately going to give her a meal, and she's all set and ready to go. Pretty easy. And as the time goes along too, definitely stay tuned and definitely check out and keep in touch with this channel, because we're going to be doing some really cool things with cutting eggs and checking out to see what we hit with the odds gods here. So it's going to be a really exciting time. But I am going to throw these guys in the incubator right now, so I just want to say first, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you could do me a couple favors, if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Definitely check me out on my social media too. We're definitely going to be keeping updates on what's going on with these clutches of eggs and what's going on with the other mamas that I have in the collection too. So stay tuned for that. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, also leave those down in the comments down below. I just want to hear any of your comments. If you have ball python clutches or any kind of clutches of your own coming up, I would love to hear about those too. That's a really exciting time of the year where everyone's breeding, and we're getting some eggs laid, and some people are even getting some born right now, which is super exciting too. So definitely put those down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and until next time, we will see you guys soon.